Okay, hello, I'm Sarah Beattie-Smith. I'm here to welcome you all here today. I'm the co-convener of our Election and Campaigns Committee, so chairing this election campaign, and I'm standing in the south of Scotland as well. Today, it's less than 3 marks until what we think is going to be a landmark election for the Scottish Green Party. And since the referendum, Scotland has really changed. It showed that there's an appetite for a different kind of politics in Scotland, and for a better Scotland. Our own party has changed a lot. On referendum day, we had 1,700 members, and today we have over 9,000. And that appetite for change is evident now, I think, in a desire for a bolder Holyrood, as well as that better Scotland. And over the last few years, throughout the Parliament's life, we've shown that even with as few as 2 MSPs, we're able to push for real bold change in Holyrood and to make a difference to people's lives. And to tell us how we're going to grow that number of 2 MSPs and grow that influence, I'm going to introduce our keynote speaker for this morning. Alongside Maggie Chapman, he's our co-convener of the party. He's been an MSP for 13 years, and he's standing right here in Glasgow Kelvin. Can you please welcome Patrick Harvey, MSP?
Thanks very much, Sarah. It's a privilege and an exciting opportunity to be standing here at the beginning of what I think is going to be one of the most extraordinary periods in the history of the Scottish Green Party. Sarah's right that we've come a long way. I think we've got a track record in the Scottish Parliament of delivering not only constructive ideas, putting forward new, positive, fresh thinking for the Scottish Parliament and challenging Scottish governments to go beyond their comfort zone, but being a principled voice for the values that many people in Scotland want to see if Scotland's going to be a better country. We believe we can have a better Scotland, and for that, we believe we need a bolder Holyrood. That's the purpose of the Scottish Green Party's campaign over the coming months. That's our intention, to put that boldness back into the Scottish Parliament. In many ways, to give effect to the values that people campaigned for devolution. I don't think people wanted just a more Scottish version of status quo politics. I think they wanted something more creative and exciting. That's what the Scottish Green Party is determined to bring. Today, we're announcing the key messages in our election campaign. And first of these has to be the opportunity to create over 200,000 new jobs. We've made the argument for a transition away from the failed, unsustainable economy that Scotland has had in the past, but the opportunity to build something better. Just this week, Scotland has been warned yet again of the danger of missing out on the opportunities that are staring us in the face, the jobs that could come from oil and gas decommissioning. It's really urgent that we embrace that opportunity, that we see that as something to invest in the future for, to ensure that jobs will be there to last for the future, for the next generation. It's not good enough for us to think that in the next few years we might just see that boat sail, see other countries, companies in other countries winning those bids, winning those jobs, and Scotland losing out on that economic benefit. But aside from oil and gas decommissioning, our Jobs for the New Economy report has shown how Scotland can diversify its economy, have a stronger local economy with small business, social enterprise, employee-owned businesses, making sure that we're investing in renewables that don't only benefit a handful of multinationals, but are in the hands of communities. And so that second goal of unlocking the power of our communities, that's something that relates to ownership of our land, of our assets, of our energy, but also to the reinvigoration that's needed in our democracy. By unlocking the power of our communities, we mean giving Scots the ability to take charge of their own future, not being dependent on waiting for government to sort every problem out because they know they can take power in their own communities. At the moment, local government is hamstrung by central government and isn't able to take the decisions that it requires to. Unlocking the power of our communities also means questions of ownership of our critical infrastructure. Areas like railways and other public transport, there's no reason in the world that we should be satisfied that a publicly owned company in another country can own and operate our railways, but we can't have a Scottish publicly owned company doing the same. We're going to be putting forward messages about caring for all of our people as well. It's critical that we look after those who do the work of caring for one another in our communities. It's great to know that progress is being made to delivering a living wage for all care workers in Scotland, including those in the private sector. But it's not good enough. It's not enough to address the long-standing, historic undervaluing of care work in our communities. So we want to go further and push for a living wage plus. Last year in the Westminster election, we argued for a £10 minimum wage to be delivered over the course of the current Westminster Parliament. The Scottish Parliament can't do that, but we can begin delivering that in the public sector, and we think care workers deserve to be treated with that degree of dignity and respect. Beyond that, we also need to recognise that a great deal of caring work in our communities is done by people who are not paid a wage at all, people who are working, caring for their own relatives and friends at home. And the carers allowance is not something that we should be satisfied with. We want to go further and make sure that those people are given a decent income that respects the work that they do, the value of it to our society and to our economy. We also need to ensure that Scotland's providing good quality homes for all of its people. Far too many people find themselves with owner occupation unaffordable and social housing unavailable, and left with the only option of private rented accommodation. Private rented accommodation is important, but in many places we're seeing substandard accommodation and overinflated prices. The first time we made the case for rent controls to the Scottish Government, we got zero interest. It's because of sustained pressure from us and other campaigners like NUS and Shelter Scotland that the Scottish Government have been moved beyond their initial comfort zone and be willing to talk about rent controls in the private rented sector. We need to go further and make sure that all housing is of a decent, high quality, is energy efficient, is affordable to live in, and is available to people in communities across Scotland. We believe Scotland is also ready to ban fracking and unconventional gas extraction once and for all. A moratorium was a first step, but it is by no means the last step, and we know that a great many people, whichever political party they currently support, want to see that industry banned from Scotland. It's a threat to our homes, to our environment, and in the face of the climate change agenda and the Paris Agreement, it is simply incompatible with the commitments on climate change that Scotland has already made. The power to ban fracking and unconventional gas extraction already exists in Scotland. It must be used once and for all. And for our young people, we need to ensure that Scotland is guaranteeing a decent future, where they have opportunities and dignity, where the value that they bring and the creativity and energy that they bring to our society is given the recognition it deserves. And that means college places and apprenticeships, addressing also the gender imbalance in many apprenticeship schemes, making sure that young people have a commitment that they will have a job, training or education for every school leaver through a Scotland-wide guarantee, guaranteeing a decent future for all of our young people. We believe Scotland can guarantee that future for our young people, that Scotland can care for all of our people. We believe that Scotland can ban fracking once and for all. Scotland can unlock the power in our communities. Scotland can provide the good homes that all of our people need. And Scotland can create those hundreds of thousands of new jobs, sustainable jobs, for an economy that will last us for the future. The theme of our campaign is Scotland Can, because we believe Scotland can be a better country. We think Scottish voters deserve that better Scotland, and to achieve that, we need a bolder Holyrood. Greens are ready to make that happen. Thank you very much.